Okay, and that is my cue. But anyways, I want to welcome everybody today. My name is Harlequin Murray, and I'm the co-host today. And I have the distinct pleasure and honor of introducing our guest speaker. And her name is Ellen Winn, and she grew up here in Georgia on her family farm in Dallas, Georgia. She was a corporate trainer and operations director for Domino's Pizza. And in 1997, she decided she'd had enough and left corporate to open her own restaurant brand, and has been a business owner ever since. When I met her, she was the national training director for a network marketing company and a partner in a huge training center here in Atlanta. So, it's obvious Ellen loves training and helping people. She is DAC's first and only area director at this time. So without further ado, I would like to introduce Miss Ellen Winn. Take it away.
Thank you, Harlequin. Thank you. Having to catch a sip of water there before I start talking. I've been actively talking to lots of folks today, but thank you. I appreciate that warm introduction. I appreciate what you do as co-host every week and the leadership that you provide for the team. Guys, if this is the first time that you've joined us on a team Zoom, welcome. You may be brand new to DAC. Whatever the case may be, we're glad that you're here. There'll be people piling in here at the last minute, as they always do, and a lot of people watch this on the replay, but I do have some great information tonight. We're going to cover, as we always do, we cover some of the basics and go back through and give you an opportunity for question and answer, but I sent out in my text message that I was going to give you some actionable steps today. So you definitely want to stay close by, grab a pen and paper, and be prepared to take some good notes as we go through those steps just a little bit later. But as I always do, I like to start out with team recognition, recognizing those folks who are producing results. So let me get us into screen share mode. Does that look good, Harlequin? Awesome. Thank you very much. We'll start out with our top producers, and this is our top producers as far as recruiting goes. We're going to start back doing some of the client stuff here in the very near future, but right now we're just doing the top recruiters for bringing on new agents every week. And this is the week of 9/23 through 9/29. In first place, we had Michael Edmondson with 6 new agent recruits. Congratulations, Michael. Way to get after recruiting. Marilee and John Ernestberg came in second place with 5 new agents for the week. In third place, we had a 2-way tie with Eric Johnson and Tori Jackson. Each had 4 new agents. Congratulations, Eric and Tori. And in fourth place, we had a 2-way tie as well with Thomas Liuzzi of RT Funding Pros and Terrell Green, each with 3 new agent recruits. In fifth place, we had a 5-way tie with Danny Thomas, Eugene Clapp, Lexi Ramos, and Marcia Clapp, each having 2 new agent recruits for the week. And also we had quite a few agents that had at least 1 new agent recruit, starting at the top: Armando McFadden, Angela Richardson, Anthony Brown, Bob Amato, Chris Fartalis, Contreras Cody, myself, Jesse Grady, Keith Calley Sr., Orlando Darden Jr., Katwan Felder, Stacey Ann Hewitt, Truce Pierre, and Coach William Carter each had 1 new agent recruit for the week. So congratulations to those of you who made the leaderboard. If your name's not on the leaderboard yet, it's just a matter of time. As long as you are having conversations about this phenomenal opportunity called David Allen Capital. So if you were here a few minutes early, I had Pharrell Williams and his song Happy playing in the background because I like music, and I'm just so happy today. So many good things are happening in my life, in my business, and to people around me. So that song came to mind, but lots of good things to be happy about right now. And if you don't have those good things going on, I encourage you to dig in and get to work with us, because you too can start having some phenomenal success. Now, we go through the recruiting board, and we'll remind you that if you're on that leaderboard and you have new agents that you have introduced to David Allen Capital, if you help them get a funding in their first 30 days in the business, then there is a fast start bonus incentive there for you as their new enroller, right? So as an enroller, you're going to earn 50% fast start bonus if you are engaged. That means that either you have had a client, your personally funded client in the past 60 days, you're new in the business and you're still within your first 60 days, or you have 6 customer finance clients. Okay, one of those 3 things that makes you eligible for the fast start bonus on newly enrolled agents. Once again, you're in your first 60 days as a new agent, you have had a funded client, a personal funded client in the past 60 days, or you have 6 customer finance clients. Okay, all of those set you up to be eligible to earn a 50% match on your newly enrolled agents if they get a funding in their first 30 days. Okay, if you're amped up, meaning if you've had a personal funded deal in the past 30 days, you'll get 100% match on that new agent's funding. So you can help someone make $600 and you can make anywhere from $300 to $600, depending on where you lie in the qualifications there. So great incentive to have you going out and helping your new agents get started and getting their first funded client. All right, on recognition, this one is huge. This is a big deal, and I'm going to go through why it's such a big deal in just a minute. But I want to congratulate Pamela Warnock. She goes by Pam. Pam has ranked up or leveled up in her compensation plan from DAC 0 all the way to DAC 4. DAC 4 is the highest position that you can achieve in our compensation plan on your personal efforts and without having to recruit a team. Pam has done a wonderful job getting to this level. She's had quite a few clients, and I'll go through that in a minute too. But in getting to DAC 4, she has really honed her skill for talking to business owners. I've heard her talk to many business owners, and man, she has really honed in her skill on that. She is going to continue to be on the leaderboards. She posted in the Facebook group after I posted this congratulatory message that her next step was DAC AD, and that is where I am. Of course, that takes some team requirement in there, team production requirement to make that happen, but I'm sure it'll happen down the road. So to maximize your earning potential, you want to get amped, stay amped, and get yourself to DAC 4. Getting amped up, again, you do that by having a new funded client every 30 days. So let's take a real quick walk through this. I do this from time to time. We have so many new people coming into the business. It's always a great reminder to go back through how the compensation works on getting through the ranks on your own efforts. Whether you're building a team or not, this is how you can move up and get paid higher commissions. Okay. So I'm going to give you an example here on $10,000 funding. And when you first get started, you don't have any clients, you're not amped up, you're automatically engaged, but amped up is what pays you double commissions on your own funding. So your first client as a new agent is always going to pay you 3%. On that $10,000 funding, 3% would be $300 commission, right? Okay, after you have that first funded client, that's going to bump you up to the rank of DAC 1. Now at DAC 1, you are going to earn an extra 10% matching bonus on your own commission, and that is also going to make you engaged. Whether you're in your first 60 days or outside of it, every time you have a new client, first, if it's a new funded client, you're going to be amped up for the first 30 days. And then after you hit day 31, you're still into that engaged period. Okay, so there's a rolling 60-day window to be engaged. All right, so you've moved up to DAC 1. What does that look like for your second client? Well, if you get your second client within your first 30 days where you're amped up, you're now getting double commissions and getting paid 6%, right? 6% would be $600 on that same $10,000 funding, but you also get a 10% match on your own bonus. So an extra 10% is an extra $60 or a $660 commission. So you can make a note on this. When you get to DAC 1, you're really, if you're amped up, you're really making 6.6% of the funded amount, because that's what that equates to, right? If you're not amped up, if you're engaged, then you're only going to make $300 after that 30-day amped up period. You go back to the standard comp plan of 3%. But if you're doing this within your first 60 days, you're going to make 300, plus you still get that extra 10% match. So that drops down to half. You would get 3.3% on your own commission. So double is 6.6 as a DAC 1. Half of that is 3.3%, adding that matching bonus on top. Okay. So again, maximize your earning potential. If you're amped up, that automatically makes you engaged and eligible for all the overrides that I'm going to show you in the comp plan here. Okay. So if you're not amped up and you're not engaged, you don't earn the matching bonus, right? So if you go 60 days without having a funding as DAC 1, you're only going to earn 3%. You don't get that extra match because you have to be engaged to be eligible for that commission. So again, it's a good reason to stay active and actively promoting the business so that you're maximizing your income. All right. So when you get your second client, it's going to pay you $300 to $660, depending on what your rank was in the comp plan. It's going to level you up to DAC 2. That second client, 300 if you're not engaged, and up to 660 if you are engaged. But it ranks you up to DAC 2. Now what happens in the comp plan? As a DAC 2, you're getting a 15% match on your own commission, right? So if you get that third client after you've been promoted to DAC 2, if it's within 30 days and you're amped up, you're going to get that 6% plus the extra 15%. So 6% is 600, a 15% match on your $600 commission is another $90 for a total payout of $690. So a DAC 2 gets paid 6.9% of the funded value as long as you are amped up. Okay. If you fall out of being amped up, you go more than 30 days and that takes you back to the engaged status, then you're going to go back to the 3% standard commission. But because you're engaged, you're still eligible for that 15% match. So you'd make 300 plus 15% extra is $45 more. So you'd make 345. So if you're engaged, not amped up, you're going to make 3.45% of your funded deal as a DAC 2. If you are amped up, then you're going to make 6.6% of the funded deal. Okay. And if you're not amped up, even on your third client, you can still considered a DAC 2, but there's no matching bonus to get paid. So you're going to get paid standard comp plan of 3%. All right. Okay. So your fourth client is going to pay you anywhere from 300 to 690 as a DAC 2, because you don't get promoted to DAC 4 until you have hit 4 clients. Plus you have to have a total of 40,000 in funded value. And that funded value has to be from new clients. Okay. So I mentioned Pam and I congratulated her. I want to take you through the real life scenario of her fundings. Now, I don't know if the commission amount is 100% correct or not. I did not ask her. However, I did tell her that I pulled reports out of my back office that showed what the funded value was on each one. And I'm going to take you through a timeline to show you, but I'm going to assume that she was amped up because I believe she was on all of these fundings. But here's how getting to DAC 4 works. And again, this is off of your own personal client. So it may take you more than 4 fundings. Pam actually had a total of 7 new clients and a total of 9 fundings total before she hit 40,000 in funded value. So how does that work? Well, it works like this. Okay. Her first funded client was a funded value of $3,500. That first commission, since she was new and what didn't have a first funded client, she got paid 3%, like I just went through, right? Her rank before that client was DAC 0, so there was no matching bonus to get paid on top of that. So the personal commission, 3% of 3,500 was $105, okay? Total original fundings after this, 35. Now, I'm taking kind of a snapshot of what you see in your commission sheet when David sends out the commission statement to us for our personal fundings. This is a little bit of a takeaway from that, not the entire thing, but a little bit of it. But I've pulled enough of the information to be able to explain it to you guys as we cover this tonight, okay? Her second client, the funded amount that the client received was $10,427. Now, Pam had one funded client, all right, that promoted her to DAC 1. So as a DAC 1, she earned, and she's amped up, so she earned 6% plus the extra 10% match. So remember I said it was 6.6% that you can earn as a DAC 1 if you are amped up. So 6.6% times 10,427 is a total commission of $688.18. Now, the running total of funded value, because we're targeting 40,000, right? Total funded value is 13,927. Excuse me. Third client was for $4,000. After she got that second client, that rank advanced her to DAC 2, right? Because going to DAC 1, you just need one client under your belt and that promotes you. Going to DAC 2, you need two clients under your belt and that promotes you. Now, there's no funded value requirement until you get to DAC 4. So Pam was a DAC 2 when she got her third client. 4,000 was what the client got. Pam got paid 6.9%. How does that work? Remember, she's amped up, so she got 6%, and then that extra 15% match being amped up on that 6% was an extra $90 or 0.9%. It was $90 in the 10,000 example that I gave you. So 4,000 times 6.9%, her commission was $276. Running total of funded value, $17,927. Her fourth client was a renewal. What does that mean? Well, it means that one of these first three clients, probably the first one, okay, one of these first three new original clients that have never gotten funded with DAC before got additional add-on funding. We call that a renewal. Now, she got paid that 6.9% match because she was amped up when she got that $8,000 funding. She's still a DAC 2. Her commission was $552. And again, these commissions, I'm assuming that she's amped up. She is in the examples that I'm giving. And that running total on funded value did not change because that renewal funded value of going towards 40,000 didn't change, right? That renewal client does not count towards the 40,000 in total value to get to DAC 4. Her fourth client was $2,500. 6.9% of that was $172.50 in commissions. That did count. It was a new client, so that went towards the 40,000. Now she's got her 4 clients, but she's only halfway to the 40,000 total funded value. Fifth client, another renewal. What is that? One of these first 4 original clients, or it could have been the renewal client that got a renewal, okay? But a renewal didn't count towards the total client count. Although you get paid the full commission on it, on the funded value, the value of the amount of the loan that the client got could have been more than the 2462 in this example. The way that would be reduced is we always get paid a percentage of the funded value. So if there's ever any change in it, David makes the adjustment from what we get paid down to the funded value. So our percentages never change. That funded value could change, but usually it's dollar for dollar on what the funding is, okay? So in this example, $169.88 in commissions. The fifth funding was for $7,000, 6.9% of that, $483 in commission. Now that running total is $27,427, okay? She's still a DAC 2 because she hasn't hit 40,000 in total funding. Funding number 6, $4,000, a commission of $276. Now, running total 31,427. Seventh client, $10,000. This was the magic client with the magic number that made it work, because this $10,000 funding put her over the 40,000 mark. She got paid as a DAC 2 on this final funding, but now on her next funding, she'll get paid as a DAC 4. And as a DAC 4, I'll go through that comp plan in just a second. But take a look at this. I told you Pam was very well deserving on this, because she had the 7 new funded clients and a total of 9 fundings altogether. The funded value in total was $51,889, and commission eligibility there, if she were amped up, then on every one of those would have been $3,412.56. Now, before I go over to the DAC 4 explanation and take you through just one more step here, I want you to think about home-based businesses and earning money from home, where we compared David Allen Capital to so many other companies in the direct selling space, where most companies are wanting you to pay a startup package or wanting you to be on an auto ship every month. Pam earned this money without spending a penny towards her business, right? These were clients that she was able, unless she did any marketing, which I'm not aware of, but this is without any cost, without any monthly cost whatsoever. And also in that comparison, if you're marketing products, most companies have a very small payout for whatever it is you're marketing. So to be able to earn $3,400 by helping 7 different business owners get 9 different fundings over time is just an incredible start, because that puts you into immediate profitability. There are businesses, traditional businesses, that have been up and running for a year that have not made $3,412 in profit for the year, because most businesses don't even break even until their 3rd or 4th year. So to have this type of business model and this ability to earn this kind of income from home on a part-time basis is absolutely incredible. So let's get back to the DAC 4 slide here. 4 new clients, total funded value of $40,000. So your next client will be paid at DAC 4, which is 6% if you're amped up. Plus now, as a DAC 4, you get a 30% match. Okay, so 6% plus 30% would be $600, and 30% match on the 600 is another $180. Add that together for a total of $780. So just make a note, if you're a DAC 4, now you're earning 7.8% of the funded value that the client receives, as long as you're amped up. If it's not within 30 days, it goes to that 60-day mark, then you drop back down to standard commission of 3% or $300. But because it's within 60 days and you're engaged, you still get that 30% match. So 30% of the $300 commission would be an extra $90, or 3.9% for $390. Okay. And again, if it goes over 60 days and you're not engaged, then you're just going to earn that standard 3%. You know, even as a DAC AD, if I'm not amped up or not engaged, I would only earn 3%, because that's what our standard comp plan is. You earn these higher levels of pay by being productive and bringing clients to the table. Now, once you hit these first 3 ranks, DAC 1, DAC 2, DAC 4, you're always at that rank. The only way you're going to miss it is to not be engaged or amped up. If you fall out of engaged or amped up status, all you need to do is get a new client, and that'll automatically put you back in that rank eligibility there for those extra bonuses. Okay. All right. So let's go to more success stories. And you guys probably saw this or heard this. Last week, I had a client get funded for $150,000. David gave this example, and that's why I kind of wanted to bring this to heart tonight and in front of you with Pam, and put it in a relatable scenario for you, because I got to AD by building a big team, right? But I wanted to show you what each and every one of you can do moving through to DAC 4, whether you're building a team or not. But this client, because I was getting paid as a DAC AD, that means that I got my double commission, or 6% of 150,000 was 9%, $9,000 standard commission, right? And then I got the extra 35% as a DAC AD. So 9,000 times 35% is another $3,150 for a total payout of 12,150, or 8.1% of the funded value. It also put 3,000 PQV into the residual plan and 1,500 in BV, or bonus volume, into the residual plan. So I get this commission when we're paid, which David sent me that email this morning. This happened last Thursday, and he said it may take up to a week because on these bigger deals, DAC doesn't get paid until the client is funded, and sometimes it takes a week to get paid from the lender. But this happened last Thursday. The lender paid David and DAC today, which means I got the commission check, and it'll that was triggered, so it'll be in my account tomorrow. So amazing how much can happen in a short period of time. I have found that the harder you work, the luckier you get. Okay, and I really find that to be true with DAC, because if you're sitting back and you're not taking action on things, nothing is going to happen. You know, nothing is going to happen other than maybe you have left a drop card, or maybe you have mentioned something to someone, and you get lucky and referral comes your way. But if you're actively promoting and you're actively working the business, the luckier you're going to get. In fact, I got lucky today. I had another client that I've been speaking with. Gosh, we started talking 2.5 months ago. He found me online, I believe, maybe on a Craigslist ad. I keep talking about these being a low cost, inexpensive way to market. I think he found me online, but he may have found me here locally because he is a local Atlanta business owner. Anyway, I talked to him on Friday, which is he has my cell phone number locked in on his cell phone, and he calls in, checking in with me, telling me how his business is doing. That's the kind of relationship we've built, right? So he calls me on Friday and he says, Ellen, we've got our last month's statement should be coming out today. He said, now you told me we need 3 months bank statements to be eligible to apply for working capital, right? And I said, yep, that's it. So you've got July, August, all we need is September. As soon as that comes through, then you can go ahead and apply and get your documents uploaded along with the one-page application. Make sure you complete that. Well, he did it, got it completed over the weekend. And I told him, I said, if it's sitting there when our team comes into the office Monday morning, they will jump on that and get it out to all of our lenders. We're one of the largest platforms in North America with over 17 in-house funding partners. And we will put your package out to bid where these guys are going to compete to bring back the best offer for you. Well, folks, they did that, and they turned this around in 3 hours time. So this client got an offer for $35,000. He accepted the offer and he got funded, all start to finish, 3 hours time from the time that our in-house team got a hold of it. So I made this post in the Facebook group a little bit ago. Some amazing people doing some amazing things in the business community, helping some amazing business owners. And again, it goes back to the harder you work, the luckier you get. The harder you work and the more business owners you talk to, the more belief you're going to have in what we're doing, because every time you talk to a business owner that is having some sort of struggle or has been through some sort of struggle, you're going to get really, really solid in your belief in DAC, because you're going to realize the huge need for what we have in the marketplace. All right, so I want to touch on this real quick. I've covered it the past couple of weeks, but going back to the comp plan, remember, you're either in your first 60 days or you have to have a funded client every 60 days to consider yourself engaged to be eligible for those enroller bonuses and to get those matching bonuses even on your own commissions. The third way to get engaged is to have customer finance clients. So I'll do the quick run through of what I forgot that took me over there. Hang on a minute. forgot it took me over to our beautiful website where you have your own customer finance page. And since I'm there, I'll show you. Just remember, if you're going to send out this tab, that you always, always, always add your ID number to the end of the link and copy it with your ID number at the end there, right? When somebody clicks on get started, it's going to automatically populate your information. Mine is there simply from memory because my cookies are bringing it up. But if I had shared this link without my ID number at the end and sent it to someone else, my information would not be pre-populated. But let's go on to the slide here, we're talking about compensation and showing you that demonstration of what you can earn with funded clients. A quick run through: if you have someone on customer financing and they're not even doing any financing, but they're paying $99 a month, you get $25 commission off the top of that in residual income each month, okay? You're gonna earn 0.7% of a funded deal. So if you've got a client that is doing $50,000 in new financing each month, that's about $350 a month residual to you. If they're doing $75,000 in new financing, that's $525 a month in residual to you. If they're doing $40,000, it's $280 a month. If it's $125,000, it's $875 a month. If they're doing $200,000, it's $1,400 a month. And I gave you a range there just for you to think. Who do you know that has high ticket items? A dentist office, a doctor's office, a flooring company. This example here is a flooring company that I have on board, and they're doing about $200,000 a month. It's just a matter of conversations and getting the word out that we offer financing, right? So take a look at all of these. If these were all your clients, you would earn a minimum of $34.55, and that doesn't even include the extra $25 that you might get on some of these. You might not get it if they're not paying a platform fee. There's no $25 extra there, but if they are paying that basic $99, there's an extra $25 a month that we get added in on top. But not only is this phenomenal residual income that keeps paying you month after month, as long as those clients are doing new financing, it also gives you the 6 customer finance clients that you need to be considered engaged so that you can earn on your team and earn those matching bonuses on your own activity. Okay, I'm going to get into the actionable steps in just a minute, but I want to remind you, tomorrow is the first Tuesday of the month, and every first Tuesday we do 2 live meetings on Tuesday evening at 8 p.m. Eastern time. We do the Business Opportunity Zoom presented by David Rutz, our company founder. And on that live Zoom, you'll have the opportunity to ask the founder questions at the end of the presentation if you like. So not only you, but any guest that you bring. So I encourage you to reach out to people that you know. You're excited about DAC. Think of who you would love to be in business with and invite a friend or two to come take a look. Just reach out and say, hey, I got a quick question. Do you keep your options open for making money outside of what you're currently doing? And if they say yes, say, great, I've got some information I'd like to share with you. Can you join us at 8 p.m. tomorrow night for a live Zoom with a company founder? And if they say, well, that doesn't work for me, say, no worries, I can send you a video that's basically the same information, but I really wanted you to meet our founder face to face in a live Zoom setting where you can actually ask him questions at the end of the Zoom. That's how I would be inviting people to come take a look at the business opportunity, right? So I encourage you to do that. Invite some guests out to be there tomorrow night at 8 p.m. at daczoom.com, as you see here in red, or they can dial in at the number on the screen. Now, after that opportunity meeting, we're going to have a 9 p.m. monthly funding training with our funding director, senior funding director, Wade Cordell. David will be on there as well. And this is always going to be an update on what's working, a potential lead program. We're testing a lead program now, and there's more potential leads coming. And oh, by the way, the 2 examples that I just gave of fundings that I have had personally, neither one of those came through the lead program. Those came through my own efforts and my own promotion through the time that I'm out here in the community and on social media and posting Craigslist ads and being searchable on Google and all of that. So lead program information update probably tomorrow night. Okay. If you think you can, you can. Remember last week, if you were on here live, it's our thoughts turn into our reality. So if you think you can do something, you can. On the other side of that, if you think you can't, you can't. So whether you believe you can or whether you believe you can't, you're exactly right either way, right? Because your thoughts are going to dictate your actions. So let's talk about actions that are going to help create some momentum in your business. So I'm going to go over here to a warm market script that I have. And I'm going to go down to the bottom of this and actually start out with the script that is available in the Agent Resource Center. If you go to the Agent Resource Center, these are there available for you to see. Let me increase the size of this a little bit. Maybe it's not going to get bigger for me. It's not. Okay, so these two paragraphs here are on a script on the text and email script under Capital in the Agent Resource Center. So I talk about in our Fast Start orientation the importance of doing the memory jogger exercise and creating a list of everybody that you know. Why do you do that list? Well, the people that you know and have a relationship with are the ones that are most likely to listen to your little pitch or your little spiel, and are the ones that you really need to introduce your business to. I got those fundings that I just shared because I've launched out loud. I've launched out in my local community. I've launched out loud on social media, on Facebook, and there's not a friend that I talk to on an ongoing basis that doesn't know what I do. It's just part of my day-to-day conversation. So for you to launch your business, whether you're brand new or whether you've been here for 6 months and you just really haven't launched your business yet, all you really need to do is start with your contact list. It might just be pulling up the contacts in your phone, right? If they're already in your phone, it's easy to just scroll through that list and open up text message and send them a text. I would recommend that you create a notepad. I use an app called Color Note, COLORNOTE. It is an app that you can download on your phone. It's available online. When you switch devices, that app, you can log into it online and it'll carry your information over to a new phone. So it's not device specific. It's something you can log into and have those notes forever and ever. But I have pre-written templates in my Color Note app. So when somebody calls me and I need my web link, I just open up Color Note and I go to my DAC links and I highlight, copy, paste it into a text, and I hit send. Makes it real easy. But for this example, this is reaching out to your warm market. If you know business owners, right? Any business owner that you know, you would want to send them out a text. And it says, and this is verbatim from the script, it says, not sure if you knew, but I'm now in business capital. When the big banks can't help, we usually can. If you ever have an opportunity you want to pursue or are in a tight pinch, let me know. I can send you some info. Hope business is going well. Okay. You're not even promoting your link. You're just announcing what you're doing, that you have a new career path here, and you're letting all of your business owner friends know that you are in this new direction, right? And the same thing, a business capital text to your non-business owner contacts. And that is, not sure if you knew, but I'm now in business capital. We can really help small business owners. If you know any, would you please forward them my website? Okay. And then you can send your link to your non-business owner contacts because you're going ahead and putting it out there to them and asking them to forward it. And if they reply and say yes or sure, or that sounds good, whatever they reply, if it's positive, say, oh, by the way, if you have time to contact business owners, I can set you up to get paid commissions if they get funding from us. Let me know. Thanks. And then you move on. You don't have to get in this long back and forth conversation. This can be a text message. It can be through Facebook Messenger. But if you're doing this through Messenger, you want to make sure that this is someone that you have talked to before through Messenger before you send it out. Because if you send out too many messages to contacts that have not contacted you first. If you send them messages through Facebook Messenger, Facebook will lock you down and will prevent you from doing that. They'll put you in Facebook jail. And speaking of Facebook, they were down today. So I had some things I was going to post and wasn't able to get to that because they were having issues today. So anyhow, those are the two things there. But let me get up here to the script. And again, no matter what your level of experience is with DAC, I encourage you to take action with this. All right. I'm just going to cover the first page of this. There's a second and third page that would be for our team leaders that are on here tonight, and or those of you that are starting to do funding and you've had enough conversations that you're comfortable talking with business owners. I'm going to need you to rally around this, guys. If you're a team leader and you've had personal clients and you're comfortable answering questions, I need you to really rally around this so that we can get our new agents, those that are a little timid about having conversations because they're unsure of how to answer questions. This script is going to set you up to be able to have a conversation, not have to know anything, and be able to point them to the expert. So here's how it works. Okay, again, this goes back to your warm market list. And this would be talking to people that you already know that are business owners. Okay, so before you make a call or before you get into this script, you would want to talk with a team leader. And if you don't know who that is, reach out to me and say, hey, Ellen, I want to do these calls. Who do I work with? It may be me. It may be Eugene. It may be Harlequin. It may be JC. We've got a variety of different leaders in the team. And it depends on where you are in the organization as to who you would be teamed up with to do this, right? But before making the calls, you want to find out who the team lead is with whom you'll be doing calls with to make sure that you know their availability and make sure that they have your agent ID number. If a link needs to get sent out and there's any question about it, your team leader can help you get the right link out to the client, okay? And if they're available while you're going to be doing these calls, you can discuss how to set up a three-way call to bring your team lead onto the line if you have a client that is wanting to do a three-way and talk to them at the moment that you're doing the calls. Okay, so this is just set up as an appointment setter script where it's real simple for you to reach out, but I'm kind of giving you the preliminary here at the top of the screen. If you don't know how to do a three-way call, I encourage you to Google how to do a three-way call on a Samsung Note 8 or iPhone 12, whatever version phone you have. Google it on how to do a three-way call, and there will be a video from someone explaining how to do three-way calls on your particular device. Practice it before you start doing actual calls so that you know how to bring a third party into the call with you, and it'll be a piece of cake. Okay, so here's what we do. Here's how you make a call to do the appointment setter script here. So you want to start with something friendly like this. Let's say that you're calling Tommy. You haven't talked to Tommy in a while, and you're saying, okay, I know Tommy knows me. He's going to be easy on me with this being a first call. And those are the ones that you really want to call first, or the ones that you have a good, warm relationship with, right? Because they're going to be the ones that are friendly to you and kind of agreeable to the process, hopefully. So you're going to call and say, hey, Tommy, I hope you've been doing well. Have I caught you at a good moment to talk for a couple of minutes? Got it here in the script, right? If Tommy says, sure, then I'm going to move down to the next line that says, yes, right? I got a yes. If he says no, I'm going to say, well, when's a good time to call back? Then make sure that you call them right back, because you're just needing a couple of minutes, right? But you may catch them while they're dealing with a customer or something, and now's not a good time. Either way, the script answers whether it's a yes or no. If it's a yes, you're going to say, great, I want to check in to see how things are going with your business. Listen and jot down any important notes that would be helpful on our call. And this is going to be an analysis call where we're setting an appointment call where that team leader is going to go through some business analysis questions, right? Because we have business funding, we have customer financing, we have payment processing, a healthcare division, a telecom division, all of these services under our umbrella. And instead of trying to just target one thing, which our flagship is funding, this gives us an opportunity to have a broader conversation, which is what I have been doing when I'm creating these relationships with clients. I'm not just talking to them about funding. They may call me, they may have seen me about funding, and they're calling me, reaching out about funding, but I ask them about their business. And I ask them basically what you're going to see here on this script to find out a little bit more. Now, I'm not necessarily going to talk to them about all of these things today if they're calling me about funding, but I'm making notes on their file where I'm going to follow up with them and see how things are going. And then I'm going to open up the door for that next product. Okay. So that one client is not just a one and done, funded and on to the next thing. That one client, that client that just got funded today for $35,000, I've been talking to him for 3 months. He didn't qualify for funding when he first called me because he hadn't been open long enough to have 3 months bank statements. But we started talking through what he's doing, and I started asking him questions. And I said, so you're doing heat and air and plumbing and all of that? I said, those are some high ticket items, right? And he said, yeah. I said, how much is your average client? He said, oh, between $6,000 and $12,000, just really depends on what they're doing. And I said, are you offering them? He said, you're not going to say financing, are you? And I said, yeah, I was going to ask you if you're offering them a way to finance. He said, oh man, Ellen, that's on my list of things to do, right? So I'm beating him to the punch, but we're both on the same page. I asked him about that. And then he said, I need some information on that. And then I said, well, are you taking, he said, credit cards. And I said, yeah, are you taking credit cards? And he said, no, we're not right now, but we need to, because I've got customers paying cash and check right now, but I need to be taking credit cards. So just see how that conversation evolved with me naturally talking to the business owner. Not just because I've been a business owner, but because I have a lot of conversations. So no matter what your background is, you can have those simple flowing conversations when you put your business hat on and think from the business owner's perspective of what they actually need to make their business run, right? So let's move on. So we've got them saying, yes, now is a good time to talk. So the next step is, as I'm setting an appointment, is, well, great, I want to check in to see how things are going with your business. Listen, take some notes, and after they say things are good, or we were struggling with COVID, or this is the best I've ever seen my business in years, which a lot of business owners are going to say that, then you just want to say, well, I'm calling today because I've started working with a business finance and services agency, who is helping companies across the country. In most cases, we're making a significant impact on the bottom line. So I wanted to reach out to see if you might be open to doing a complimentary analysis call with one of our agents to see if we can help you too. Okay, that's all we're doing. We're offering help and assistance. If they don't need it, great. I'm glad your business is doing so well. If they do need it and they're open to it, you're going to say there's zero cost for the call and no obligation whatsoever. Would that be okay? Right? Just asking for permission. So wait and listen for their answer. If they start asking questions, you'd say, those are great questions, but I'm going to have to look around my camera here. Those are great questions, but I'm new and I don't want to give you any misinformation. I'm in training right now, so I'd rather connect you with an experienced agent who has all of the correct information. Okay, so don't get into the Q&A scenario. And if they ask what's the name of the company, just say DAC. I recommend that you don't say David Allen Capital on a call like this. I tell people I'm with David Allen Capital if I'm doing a funding call or whatever, but in this general asking them for an appointment. I don't want them Googling David Allen Capital to go ahead and look at the company and find out about the company on their own without us having an opportunity to talk about the features and benefits of what we offer. So I just use the acronym DAC if they ask what the name of the company is. Okay. So next in the script is they're saying yes, say, well, great. The call will only take a few minutes, and would you be available to talk now? I can see if an agent is available. You may have caught them at a great time where they do have a few minutes. That's where your three-way skills are going to come in, right? Say, great. Well, hold on just a minute. Let me see. I have Eugene possibly available. Let me see if I can get him on the line. Boom, you dial. Or you may not even say a name. You may have a couple of people that you're calling. If you don't get the first one, you go to the second one. You call them, you get them on the phone, and the intro would be, let's say it is Eugene. You'd say, hey, Eugene, I have my friend Bobby on the line. Bobby owns a XYZ business, and he's available to do an analysis call right now. Is now still a good time? And if Eugene says it is for him, then you go back, you connect them, and you say, hey, Bobby, I've got Eugene on the line. Eugene is an experienced team leader here with our company, and he's working with me to help train me. So I'm going to just listen in and take notes while you guys discuss and while he goes through this analysis call with you. Okay. That's all you do is sit back and take notes and listen and let that expert answer all your questions for the client. Let the expert ask all the questions on the rest of the questionnaire here, and you learn in the process. The more you hear it, the more you absorb the information, right? If you're asking, is now a good time? And they say, not now, you say, no problem. The sooner we get you scheduled, the sooner you could be cutting costs. Will later today or sometime tomorrow work for you? You know, you're always pushing that to try to get it done quickly, not somewhere down the road. And then at that point, you just want to confirm a day and time and verify the best number to reach them on. And then at the end of the call, you've either agreed to now, you've three-wayed somebody in, or you're moving it on the schedule. Then you're going to say, hey, thank you. It was good talking to you. I'm excited to see how we can make a positive impact on your business. And that meant that kind of conversation with a business owner, with you being upbeat in your tone and genuinely wanting to help. We're not trying to sell them anything. I think you'll have some incredible success. And let me just give you a heads up here on the team leader. In a quick overview here, the team leader's goal is to be friendly and professional, not salesy. People want to do business with folks that they know, like, and trust. And I think I'm having success with DAC and getting repeat clients and all of that because they feel it through the phone or in person. They feel it that I genuinely want to help them, and I'm helping find solutions for them. I don't see dollar signs on their head when I hear the phone ring or whatever. I'm not thinking, oh man, I'm going to get a commission. I'm going to get a commission. I'm thinking about the mission before the commission. I know you hear that and it's kind of cliche, but it's really the truth. I'm here to serve and to help business owners. So that would be the role of any of our team leaders that are doing the call. Any of you that want to be on that, team leaders, let me know if you want to be that support person for the team, and we'll get together and do a training together on that with just that small group. Okay. But that's really what I wanted to share with you tonight as some action steps. And if you're not taking action steps right now, what is it that is preventing you from doing that? Normally, it is lack of belief. And as you see above my head, I have the belief sign right above me. And that is there for the reason of belief is the most important thing. Hey, Harlequin, I see my screen went away. Am I back full screen, or is there still something on screen share?
Yes, you are.
I'm back full screen now. The slide
Yes, you
share
are.
went away. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
All right, thank you. All right, so as I said, I was going to open up for questions here.
And actually, can I mention something that Wayne
Sure.
told me about.
Sure.
He is really excited about the funding training tomorrow night.
Okay.
He's not going to be doing the standard presentation about funding. He
Good.
said he's going to go into more details about overcoming different issues.
Mhm.
And like he was talking about, if somebody already has multiple advances out there, what do you do and things like that. So it should be an excellent training. And he's going to do some role playing and stuff like that. So
Awesome. That'll be
looking
good.
forward to that tomorrow.
Absolutely. And do you have, are there questions or comments in the chat there? Let me see. Let me pull up participants. If you've got a question or a comment, use the raise hand under the reactions screen. At the bottom of the screen there, you've got a raise hand, or you can unmute yourself and I'll see that you're unmuted. I see William has his hand up. And there you are. I'm going to ask William to unmute.
I'm muted.
Hey, there you are. Hey, William, how are you?
Good, Ellen. How you doing this
I'm
morning?
doing great. Thank you.
It's evening. Working around the clock. I just don't know what time it is.
What time is it in where you are right now?
9, almost 9 o'clock at night.
Okay, so you're on Eastern time zone too.
Yep, just like
Awesome.
you.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would just, because of being new here, I'm just trying to find out what's the best avenue to get the message out. But I was really interested in doing the Craigslist, and I was wondering where I could find the training on that.
Yeah, I've got a 10 folder that has the ad templates as well as a video on creating your Craigslist account so that you don't get shut down. The posting process and all that, I can send that out in the email tonight with the recording of this video. I don't announce it on here because this will get posted to YouTube and I don't want just everybody having access to that. But yeah, great question. And they work really well. But let me say this too. I always talk about how I have those ads out there. I always have some type of advertisement going, whether it's Craigslist or something on Google or social media. I always have these passive recruiting and advertising methods going on in the background, but it does not replace me having active conversations with people on a day-to-day basis. Active conversations, either handing out my drop cards or talking to people in the different networking groups or talking to my friends and doing some of the text messaging that we just went through in the training tonight. So it is a secondary method. I would not encourage that it be your only method, because folks that don't get into their warm market and start reaching out to that connected community already, you're really making a big mistake. Because my background, I've been here since June of 2018. DAC just keeps getting better and better and better, and there's never ever a time that our internal team tries to talk your customer into taking something that's not good for them. And we don't try to talk them into it anyway. We give them the information, let them make an educated decision, and they decide one way or another. So there'll never be a hard sales tactic used here with any of your clients. It's always in their best interest. So I think knowing that is just a big key to having trust and faith in what you're introducing those people that you have relationships with too, right? So good question.
Exactly. Because I went through the training and I really liked what Dave was saying about, you're just informing them. You're not trying to push something or just sell them something just to make a commission.
Yep, exactly.
You're just informing them, and then if you put the decision, like you said, on their shoulders.
That's right. And David says it over and over again. Even when we bring them in and they decide that they want to get a quote or an offer on funding, they can say no to the offer, but they need to know that we exist, because there will be a time when just about every business owner that will come up across an opportunity that they need quick working capital, whether it's an emergency situation or, as David discussed today, the opportunity to buy in bulk and get a massive discount for an excess purchase. And if they don't know that we're here, then you're leaving them out there floundering, trying to find money from the banks, which they're just not going to be able to get. So if you guys, if you haven't listened to today's agent call, I'm going to include that in the email that goes out tonight as well. It's long, it's a couple of hours long, but it is well worth the listen. There were some great ideas shared. PK, who is an ex-commercial banker, had some great dialogue with David and some additional stuff in there. So I encourage you to listen to it. Really good stuff to dive in deep to what a traditional business owner goes through trying to deal with the local bank. So good stuff. Well, thanks for the question, William. Good to see you on camera.
Thank you. It's good to see you too, Ellen. Thank
Awesome.
you for all the information.
Yeah, you're welcome. Anytime. My pleasure.
Thank
All
you.
right. Anybody else got their hand up? Question? Unmuted? Nope. We've got a quiet group tonight. I love how we have our bystanders on our Zoom. Spectators watching. Let's see. Anything in the comments there, Harlequin? Questions, feedback?
Yeah, the only thing that I saw, Amanda was asking about the car magnets, and I haven't seen anything there.
Yeah, David, that came up a couple of weeks ago or so, and David said that he was going to see about getting something, and he gave a deadline on that, and I don't think anybody has asked after he gave the deadline. So that might be a good question for tomorrow on the training, not the agent opportunity. That agent opportunity at 8 p.m. is really for guests. So if you have training questions, I would save those for the 9 o'clock training, and remember what the purpose of that 8 p.m. business opportunity is all about. It's not about us getting our questions answered that are already in the business, or us learning how to handle something that we've run across. That agent opportunity Zoom is really about the new agent that is seeing DAC for the first time, and we want it to be about the opportunity, right? We'll take the detailed questions on the 9 p.m. on the funding training. That's the time that you want to present those questions about what's going on in your business today. Okay. All right, Harlequin, do you have anything else before we wrap up? Any questions, comments, or feedback?
Shalik was asking if you have your own domain.
I have multiple domains. Yes, I do. And I also have a domain training on day 3 of the emails that I send out. I have a detailed domain training. Why having a domain is a good thing. But I will say this, if you're familiar with what a domain is, it's just a short web address that you can point towards any website. Okay. I don't have my own website. I use domain names and I point them to the company websites that we have. It's just a real easy way to tell someone over the phone where they need to go, or especially in printed material, like my DAC cards. I have my finance card here, and on the back, it doesn't say davidallencapital.com/customer-financing/my ID number, which is crazy to have that long URL on printed material. Instead, I bought the domain getdacfinance.com. And when I put it on here, I capitalized the G in get, and then capitalized DAC, and I capitalized the F in finance. So it separates the words for easy read so that someone can easily see what that is and easily type that into their browser, hopefully without making an error in getting to the right page there. But good question. Yeah, domains are very valuable. They're inexpensive. I have a recommended hosting company that I use, and I have a referral of an affiliate link in there. If you want to use it, my training takes you through that company that I use, so you can see apples to apples as far as the back office if you're not familiar with those. And I'm also happy to help you get your domain set up if you need some help with that through there. So good question. All right. Anything else there, Harlequin?
Nope, those were the only questions that I saw tonight.
Awesome. And I did not put Eugene 5 or 6 times in the top recruiters by accident like I did last week. So
Don't fall
he's
off the
still,
chair, Eugene.
still a star of the team, but I just didn't over recognize him this week like I did when I printed out the top recruiters list last
Yes.
week. All
Yeah,
right.
and Fred has his hand up.
Okay. Awesome. Let's go to,
Can you all hear me?
yeah, sure can. Hey, Fred, how are you?
Good. How are you doing, Ellen?
I'm good.
Congratulations on your recent success.
Thank you.
Quick question on the requirements for the Bank Breezy. One of the prerequisites was having a U.S.-based business with an EIN. Can you be a sole proprietor without an EIN and still qualify? Is my question.
Not on Bank Breezy. Now, if they're a sole proprietor and do not have an EIN, if they're doing 15,000 or more in monthly revenue, you can send them through David Allen Capital. The DAC side of the house does not require that they have an EIN. What they do require is, of course, the business checking account and that higher revenue. But that would be your only workaround if they're not set up with a LLC or a C Corp or some business entity with an EIN number.
Okay, thank you.
Now, they can also have an EIN. They can register for an EIN easily. So we can walk them through that. All right, and I see Joni. Joni.
Hey, Ellen. It was just hey there. It was just a clarification question.
Sure.
Fred, follow up to Fred's. Well, actually 2 questions. The first one was follow up to Fred's. I understood that if they don't have an EIN, we can still put them through the process and they can actually get an EIN, just literally apply for one while they are going through the process for Bank Breezy. Is
As
that
long
correct?
as they have a business checking account, yes.
Okay.
That originally was not permissible if they were a sole proprietor. They had to have an EIN, but they can as long as they get that EIN number. We've got to have that.
All right, thank you. The other question is about leads. So first time I ever spoke to you, I told you I was living on St. Thomas, and it was proving to be more difficult than I thought it would be. I thought it would just be really easy to put a bunch of Facebook ads out. And anyway, I've had a big lesson in Facebook ads and what you can and cannot say as it relates to credit. So I literally am stateside right now, just spending time with family. I came here specifically to work on the business. And so I have been going almost door to door. Like one day I'll do salons, nail salons, barber shops, et cetera. The next day I've been doing sort of trucking companies. And I haven't had the success that I thought that I would. And maybe I'm just not patient enough yet. But so I guess my question is, I'm super coachable, really open to, I get warm market has to be number one. I understand that, and I'm working on that now. But apart from warm market, do you have almost sort of a hierarchy of what to do next? And, is it just, a numbers game? I mean, I literally have put out hundreds of drop cards at very specific businesses.
Okay, well, that's great. And it is a numbers game, and it's a matter of timing too, because if you're doing drop cards for funding, there's no doubt that the majority of those business owners that you're talking to are going to need funding at some point. They just may not need it the day that you walk in the door, right?
Right.
So it'll come back around. David shares that he's gotten fundings from having put a drop card in a door handle in a work truck in a parking lot, right? So
Yeah.
it comes around, and I got my first funding, which was also $150,000. I think they got me through a drop card back 2 or 3 years ago, 3 years ago. So it's a numbers game, but I would say when you're going in and talking to those business owners, are you walking in with a smile on your face? And if so, are you, hey, I'm just here, I want to come in and introduce myself. I'm in the local community and I'm helping business owners like yourself I'm in business finance and here's what we do. I just want to drop off my information. If you ever have an opportunity to expand or grow, or you're ever in a tight pinch, I'd love to be your go-to person to help you out when the big banks can't help you. You know, just that introduction and not trying to sell them, because they'll
Right.
feel the difference in that. And if that's what you're doing, you're on the right track. It's just a matter of you getting comfortable with your little elevator pitch where you're
Okay.
doing your introduction, right? Is that kind of what you're doing? Or are you trying
It
to
is,
ask them if they
absolutely.
need funding while you're there?
No, most places, they're too busy anyway to speak with you, you know, just when you're just dropping in. So
Yeah.
that's precisely how I've been
Yep.
handling it. So,
Yeah, and what you'll find on that too is if they're busy, they don't want to acknowledge, you know, if they've got customers around or employees around, they don't want to acknowledge that they might even need funding, because
Right.
that could be considered a sign of weakness. Oh, you don't have enough money to run your business, when in
right.
reality it's not. It's you know, a strong person knows when to ask for help, right? So same thing with a business owner, but it would be that perception. So they would probably not say, yeah, I need to talk to you, or start asking questions while you're there anyway. Just one thing I will say, either take a highlighter, because this kind of blends into the card.
Right.
Take a highlighter and highlight your information and make sure that you point it out to them
Okay.
when you give the card out. Just say, hey, my information is right here. If I can ever help you, I would love to see what we can do. You know,
Okay,
just
great
point that
idea.
out that way. Also, you talk about doing salons and barbershops. Those are great because they're retail. They're getting daily sales coming in, and our lenders love seeing that daily retail activity. So they have a high chance of getting approved if they come through the system. So continue on with those. The trucking companies are great too. Those are two of the larger niches that we have.
Okay.
But I can't remember what your background is, Joni, but I would pick something that I'm really familiar with
Okay.
industry wise, and maybe try to target that. And
Okay.
if you work towards picking a niche that you really get to know the ins and outs of that niche and understand the needs of the businesses there, you'll not only be able to do funding, but you'll also be able to do the customer finance. And personally, if I'm picking a niche, I'm going to pick a niche that has a need for a little bit of everything that we do, right? Instead of just one, because if it's a larger company with higher dollar revenue, they're going to qualify for larger fundings, right? They're also going to have higher tickets where they might be a good prospect for customer financing. And if they come in through that customer financing portal where our internal team looks at the customer financing, they're going to automatically say, hey, I see that you're paying a significant fee on your payment processing. Would you like for us to give you a quote to see how much money we can save you? So they're automatically going to have that conversation for you. So just think about that as you're planning your approach on who it is. But obviously, if you're just there in your local market, I wouldn't walk past one business to get to the next if you're kind of doing the door-to-door thing. But just something, food for thought for you.
Okay. Thank you so much. I appreciate you.
Yeah, you're so welcome. Thanks for the question.
Absolutely.
Ellen,
Yes,
if I
ma'am.
can add on to that, Joni, whenever you're going out and going door to door, I know a lot of times the owner isn't going to be there at all, or is not going to be available. Are you getting that person's contact information and finding out when would be a good time to follow up with them?
So what I've done is when it's not the owner, which typically it's not, it's somebody who's kind of at a reception desk, then I literally that night sent an email to the website email address. Sometimes it's info@, but typically even when it's info@, it's the owner reading the email anyway. So what I did was I would just follow up with an email saying, hey, today I was in your salon. I left some information. I wanted to give you an electronic version, just to follow up with an electronic version in case it's easier. And so that's kind of what I've been doing. I literally have only had 2 people respond back to my emails, but anyway, as Ellen said, maybe I'm just not being patient enough. So
Well, if I can suggest, when you find out that the owner isn't there, find out what their direct email address is, so that you know it's going to them and not just a general email. And
Right.
also find out, are they ever in the office or in the store, and when is a good time to try and reach them, and just try and call back during that time period and just say, hey, I just want to make sure that you got my information, not trying to sell you on anything right now. Just want you to be aware that we have this available, just like you would if you were talking to them for the first time. And, put them on a drip, every
Right.
month or so, say, hey, just wanted to touch base, or give them some information on things that are going on in the industry, whatever. But that will get you a better result overall.
Okay. All right.
Yeah,
Thank
yeah.
you.
Yeah, and that's great that you're already doing those emails through their website email. Unique subject line, right? Letting them know that you were there physically and you're not just spamming them with a sales.
Right.
So, yep, that's all perfect. And those work, I do that. I don't know if I've still got it. Oh, yep, I brought it up here. My little handheld recorder. You might take this as an idea if you haven't heard me before, Joni. I have this little handheld recorder. And when I'm on the road, I like taking this with me. So when I see a work truck or a billboard, I can quickly hit record and leave myself a message and
Right.
say, I saw Wilson Air Conditioning on Highway 278, white van. Then when I come back, I can listen to my voicemails and send out, look them up online, maybe a cell phone number. A lot of times they'll have a website on their truck, right? I can go in and go through that info on their website and send a quick personalized message to the owner saying, I saw your truck on Highway 92, or I saw your vehicle in front of Costco today, as the subject line. And then they'll open it and you're doing that. Hey, I saw I'm in business finance. I work in the local community and I'm reaching out to local business owners like yourself. Here's what we do. If I can ever help, let me know. I hope business is going well. And you don't even have to include your link in that. Just wait for them to reply back asking for more information. That way you're not coming across salesy.
Right.
I do, however, I have my link in my signature. So
Okay.
if it's automatically in your signature, you're kind of sliding your link in without it being right in front of them, right?
Got it.
You're not putting it in
Good.
the
Yes,
body
that's
of
a
the
good
email.
idea.
So I think
Okay.
that's a good way to do that.
All right.
All right.
Thank you. Thanks very
Yeah,
much.
you're welcome. All right. Thanks, Harlequin. Those were great comments as usual. All right. Anybody else before we wrap up? Going, gone. Chances for questions. Okay. Well, guys, I don't see anybody else with their hand up. So thank you so much for being here tonight live. And if you're watching on the replay, we appreciate you too for taking time out of your schedule to watch this information. Please let us know how we can help. If you want to be one of our team leaders that is available to do appointment calls, let me know. And if you want to do appointment setter calls, let me know that as well. And I'll make sure that you get paired up with the right person. Okay. Thanks, everybody. Have a great evening. We'll see you on the next Zoom. Have a good night.